We are what we eat. Have you ever heard that? It's a truer statement than you might think. What we put in our bodies has a direct effect on how well our brains function and in turn, how good our bodies feel. What are you doing today to fuel your body?
Hello friends, welcome back. During today's wellness pop-up, we're going to define 6 more risk factors that affect the health of our brain. And we're going to discuss what they all have in common. So, in previous sessions, I shared with you the first risk factor, which was sleep. And then today comes 6 more, and spoiler alert, in another session will be the remaining 4 for a total of 11. So, 6 risk factors that we're going to talk about today. Well, the first one is inflammation. You know, where there is inflammation in one place in our body, there's inflammation elsewhere. So if your gums are swollen, there's probably inflammation somewhere else. Just something to keep in mind. Number 2 is genetics. When you have a genetic risk, it's not a death sentence. It's a wake-up call. Number 3, toxins. For example, stuff that we put in our body by choice, like alcohol, drugs of any sort, whether they're legal or illegal. Then there's things outside, maybe pesticides we use on our lawn. Maybe it's just pesticides that we're around because we live near a farm or on a farm. Mold is another thing that can be kind of a silent killer that we don't even realize we're around. Even anesthesia. You know, those are toxins we have to be mindful of. Number 4, immunity and infections. Enough said, right? Let's avoid infections. Let's avoid anything that's going to compromise our immunity. Number 5, neurohormone deficiencies. Neurohormones play a critical role in our health, and they definitely affect our brain when there's a deficiency. Testosterone, for example, it's more than just a man's hormone, especially for women as we age. It affects our mood, our motivation, our strength. You know, and then there's the thyroid, which is a very creatively unique thing in our body, but that gives us energy and gives us mental clarity. We need to be aware of these. We need to know what a healthy level is, and we need to keep ourselves at these healthy levels. And number 6, diabetes. Diabetes is a combination between obesity and diabetes. So how is diabetes measured? Well, high blood sugar and our weight. If we're overweight, if we're obese, you know, as our weight goes up, the size of our brain goes down. Oh. Well, what do these 6 items, these 6 risk factors have in common? They can be adjusted and maintained through nutrition. What we choose to eat or choose not to eat definitely affects these 6 risk factors. You know, our gut is known as our second brain. 3/4 of neurotransmitters are made in our gut. What we put into our gut matters. Well, here's some fun stats for you. The typical Western diet, by the way, if you live in the United States of America, we're considered in the Western part of the world. Typical part of our diet consists of only 15 foods. And it consists or contains an abundance of bad fat, salt, sugar. It totally promotes inflammation. Oh, by the way, the general color of these 15 foods, brown. Blah. Brown. I mean, think about French fries, chicken nuggets, breads. Brown is the typical color. Spoiler alert, we need color in our meals. We need color in our menu options. A typical American diet, it truly contains way too much highly processed foods. We need to get back to the basics of home cooking. About 80% of Americans are deficient in key nutrients like magnesium, and that's according to the CDC. This isn't just stuff that Kathy makes up. You know, refining or processing of food, it's going to deplete magnesium, for an example, Actually, it depletes it nearly 85%. Now, cooking in general is a form of processing your food. Okay, we cook our foods, we bake, we sear, we saute, we do all this fun stuff, and it is somewhat processing our food. And it's necessary, right? We need to cook our foods, but there's a lot of processed food that we can avoid. We can avoid the greasy fast food foods. We can avoid anything that comes in a box at the grocery store. Anything in the center aisles usually is processed. Avoid that, and you'll increase your magnesium levels. Okay, are you ready for me to continue? Because a lot of what I'm going to talk about really, it is getting back to our core basics in life. It's getting back to our core habits. All right, let's move on to the next nutrition fact that really hits home for me. Sugar. Sugar makes everything taste really good, but it also interferes with our calcium and our magnesium. There's so much sugar in everything. Why do you think things can last in a box or a can for so many years? It's because sugar. Now, a brain healthy diet really needs to be about 70% plant-based foods and about 30% high quality protein. I have tracked my protein and I've tried to increase my protein. It's really hard to add more protein to my diet just because I have a bad habit of not eating enough. So here's 9 simple food rules that I've really tried to implement in my life, and I challenge you to take this on as well. The first one is go for high quality calories and know your calories. You know, if I'm going to eat a 100-calorie candy bar versus 100 calories of fresh fruit and vegetables, there's a difference in those calories. Oh yeah, I might lose weight because I'm only eating so many calories of candy bars every day, but I'm not going to be healthy, and that's all going to backfire. All right, the next tip here is water your brain. Our brains are 80% water. Our bodies are 70% water. We need to drink more water. We actually take your weight and divide it in half and drink that in ounces. This could be like 10, 12, 15 8-ounce glasses of water a day. That's definitely, I'm a water drinker. That's definitely a lot of water. But drink more water, your brain needs it. Just slightly, just like 2% dehydrated can really affect your efficiencies and your mood. I definitely get really irritated when I'm dehydrated. Thankfully, I've learned to carry a water bottle with me everywhere, and it is a trend. It's a thing to do. Carry a water bottle, fill it everywhere, keep your brain hydrated. And also don't drink your calories. Don't drink soda pop. Don't drink a lot of different drinks that have a lot of sugar in it. Don't drink your calories. Instead, eat really good high-calorie calories and drink your water. You know, in 1980, on average, Americans drank about 225 calories a day. Now, well, actually, as of 2019, Americans are drinking about 500 calories a day. That's over double. Now, is that healthy? Is that good for us? Well, maybe, depending on what we're drinking. Maybe it's a smoothie, maybe it's a protein shake, or maybe it's an energy drink, or a soda of some sort. You know where you are on that scale, right? Let's just put it this way. An extra 300 calories a day of drinking your calories puts on about 40 pounds a year. Something as simple as stop drinking your calories, drink more water, we'll lose weight. How easy is that? Something else is to stay away from anything that dehydrates you. Caffeine dehydrates you. Alcohol dehydrates you. Stay away from that, and that alone is going to improve your cognition. It's going to improve the way your brain works and thinks. It'll be worth it. It'll give us more energy throughout the day. Okay, next thing to do is focus on a high quality protein. For example, you want your protein to be clean. You want it to be antibiotic free. You want it to be free range, grass fed. So the cows and the chickens that you're eating, make sure they're grass fed, not antibiotic fed or chemically fed. okay? High quality protein, fish, lamb, great for the omega-3s, turkey, chicken, raw nuts. Raw nuts is a great form of protein. And here's some high protein veggies. Broccoli, spinach. I had no idea that those vegetables had protein. So get your protein, get high quality protein, and get a lot of it. A lot of it. We should go for about 100 grams of protein a day. And then also, you know what? Healthy fats. Fats are not bad. And I'm not talking about the fat on my body. I'm talking about healthy fats that we eat. Please don't buy the low fat anything. Even milk. Whole milk is better for us than skim milk. Oh, and I'm not a whole milk fan. I actually prefer my skim milk. But we want healthy fats. We want whole fats. Other healthy fats, which also has omega-3, salmon, avocados, avocado oil, olive oils. Oh, by the way, I love avocado, and I tend to buy them in bulk. But when you buy 5 or 6 at one time, they all go perfectly ripe at the same time. So here's a little trick for you. When they are perfectly ripe, put the whole bowl with all 5 of them into the refrigerator. Store them in the fridge for up to 2 weeks, and when you're ready to cut into them, they're still going to be bright green and totally fresh, ready for eating. It's an amazing little trick. Okay, another high fat or good fat, walnuts and green leafy vegetables. You know, when we choose smart carbs, when we choose smart fats, when we choose smart proteins, we're going to have a healthier body. By the way, smart carbs also is high in fiber. So be mindful of that. Not just white bread, white pasta, lots of it. Choose smart carbs and you're going to increase your fiber. And another thing is brain healthy herbs and spices like garlic, oregano. All of this boosts our blood flow to our brain. Rosemary, thyme, and sage, and ginger, cayenne, and black pepper. Oh, and cinnamon, all of those. Very healthy, very useful and beneficial for our brain. I said earlier that the average color of an American meal is brown. Eat the rainbow. Eat the rainbow. Make sure when you make a plate of food, it has every color under the rainbow. That's going to keep us healthy. That's going to boost those 6 risk areas. The next one here is make sure the food is clean. And earlier I talked about clean food, like the beef or the chicken we eat. Make sure they're grass-fed, no chemicals. This is literally the cleanliness of your food. Many times things like apples and different fruits, they're sprayed and there's toxins on the food. When you bring it home from the grocery store, it hasn't been washed. So avoid the extra toxins and wash our foods. Buy organic when we can, especially if we're going to eat the skins. You know, things like avocado, bananas, we don't need to buy organic that way. So we want to clean the skins if we're going to eat the skins. Something that I do when I get home from the grocery store is I fill my sink full of cold water with a few glug-glugs of vinegar. A few glug-glugs of vinegar. And then I just bathe my apples, my colored peppers, my berries, my other fruits and veggies. I just bathe it in this sink full of vinegar water for whatever, 10, 15 minutes while I'm putting groceries away. And then I'll drain the sink and use a little scrub brush and clean all of it and let it dry before I put it away. That way I know whoever grabs out of this bowl is going to be grabbing clean, toxic-free fruits and veggies. I mentioned earlier how sugar is not our friend. We need to avoid sugar. We definitely need to avoid sugar. Sugar is the food of cancer. When you go in for a test to see if you have cancer, it's called a PET scan. They're feeding sugar into your veins. And wherever your body lights up is where the cancer's eating the sugar. You know, according to different studies, sugar is associated with ADHD. It's associated with hyperactivity. It feeds the cancer cells. It really makes us dumb. It alters our learning and our memory. Average Americans eat about 141 pounds of sugar a year. Oh, pounds of sugar a year. Sugar is more addictive than heroin. Friends, I get it. I get it. I like things to taste good. I like sweet. But the more I eat, the more I want. And the more my heart races. I'm sharing this because I'm reminding myself why I want to reverse my addiction. And when I can go sugarless, I feel so much better. I feel so much better. I love sugar, but it doesn't love me, and it doesn't love any of us. It adds pounds or fat to my body, the bad fat. It increases my cholesterol. And here's something interesting. It alters my breathing. Many times, for years, I would have to yawn to get a deep breath. It was almost like asthma-like symptoms. And I've learned just recently that it's because of sugar. I don't have asthma. And when I'm not eating a lot of sugar, I can take a deep breath with my mouth closed through my nose. I mean, who'd have thought that'd be possible? Okay, listen to this as well. I have this amazing book. It's called The Daniel Plan by Rick Warren, Daniel Amen, and Mark Hyman. I'm going to flip to a page right here because I got to read this. I want to prove to you I'm not making this up, okay? Back in the hunter-gatherer days, eons ago, right? Hundreds of years ago, the population consumed about 22 teaspoons of sugar a year. A year. Now, I said earlier, we consume a lot in a year. Well, it comes out to be average Americans consume 22 to 30 teaspoons of sugar every single day. Oh, wow. In 1800s, the average person consumed 5 pounds a year, and now we're 140 to 152 pounds of sugar a year consumption. Here, the average 20-ounce soda, I think that's considered a small soda when you buy it at a gas station, has 15 teaspoons of sugar. Well, that makes it easy to consume 22 to 30 teaspoons of sugar a day. It used to be 20 teaspoons a year. This makes me angry. This makes me very angry. We can control our bodies. We can control our choices, our decisions. This is our superpower. Now, the world's not going to make it easy on us, but we have this power. We just have to make little habit changes. Avoid the soda. Can you do it? Can you go totally soda-free? Even juices, even milk. Go to water. Water. Avoid processed foods. Avoid fried foods. Avoid fast foods. Now, if you need to sweeten anything, use things like honey or stevia to sweeten your tea or sweeten your yogurt or sweeten your toast even. And eat fruit instead of dessert. Get a nice bowl of berries instead of a candy bar. I've really tried to limit my sugar intake because I feel better. And I'm trying to go down to 1 treat a week instead of every day. Maybe even I can do 1 treat a month. There's so many other yummy snack options. When you look for the recipes, they're out there. Use seasonings. Use things like cinnamon. Avocado. Oh my gosh, put avocado in your smoothies. I did that the other day. I don't even taste the avocado. It's a smoothie. I don't taste it, but I'm getting the nourishment. Blueberries, those are brain berries. Eat those every day. Oh, definitely buy organic blueberries or go pick your own when they're in season. You do want organic. Peanut butter, things like peanut butter, when you buy it in the store, there's sugar in it. Make your own. Make real peanut butter. Take a blender, dump in about 3 cups of peanuts, and blend it. 2 minutes. 2 minutes, you've got homemade peanut butter with no sugar. Add it to your celery, add it to your apples. And then let's just get a nice bowl of nuts, walnuts, pecans, almonds, all of the good raw nuts. We're adding omega-3s. By adding omega-3s to your diet, you actually minimize any damage that you do. So eat away, add the omega-3s. It's not about our lifespan that matters. It's about our health span. If I'm going to live 100 years or 60 years or 51 years on this planet, I want to be healthy when I'm living. I don't want to die before my body does. So, action item ideas. Choose something that you're going to do that's going to give you better nutrition so that you're helping your brain. Maybe, don't buy the junk food. If you don't buy it, you can't eat it. Maybe always carry healthy snacks. Get some little reusable zip bags and fill it with those healthy nuts and keep it in the car so you don't get hangry and buy the junk. Here's one too. Don't allow the waitress at your restaurants to leave bread at the table. Oh, this is a ploy, because bread breaks down really quickly to sugar. Then we get a blood sugar spike, and our blood sugar goes up, and then it crashes while we're eating our dinner, and then we want dessert. Do you see the extra sugar we just added to our body? My friends, choose something. Hopefully I've given you some ideas. Choose one little new habit that truly you can make into a habit. Be great today, choose better nutrition, and in the end, you're creating a healthier brain.